Hey overcomers, I wanted to just jump on really quickly and give you this video. So a lot of times I believe God gives me downloads and I'm like, as the downloads come, I feel I need to share it. So here's the thing. Too many of us sometimes walk around life without knowing our God-given power, okay? We all have it. If you believe in God and, God created the world, it says in the beginning, God created the world, the earth was formless and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And then God said, nothing happened until he spoke. He thought it, he spoke it, and then he saw what he said. But too often we are living this life only by the 3D, just going by the 3D lens and not using discernment, not fully operating in our God-given power. You see, the thing is, we are spiritual beings in this earthly body, or this earthly suit, as I hear people say sometimes, this earthly body, okay? Spiritual beings that have a soul, and we're living this life. And here's the thing. I believe faith, it truly overrides the circumstances of life. And faith is the ultimate life hack. To have the things you want, to get the things you want, to see your dreams, your desires, your goal, your vision, whatever it is that you're believing for, to see it come to pass, you have to operate by faith and not by sight. Because when you just go by what you see in the 3D, you're going to get tripped up. You're going to get caught up. You're going to talk yourself probably out of things that you should be talking yourself into. Too often, sometimes in certain circles, we're taught that, it's, the devil did it, or it's the devil's fault. And yes, the enemy is at work. Okay. The Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but spiritual principalities. But sometimes we could be our own worst enemy. We could be the ones that's stopping ourselves from the progress because out of fear or doubt, or we believe maybe we're not good enough, or, maybe we're not called to a thing, when in fact, you have been called to a thing. I truly believe if God has given you that vision, God has given you that dream, that goal, you're the person that's supposed to fulfill it while you are here on earth. That's why we all have different dreams and goals and things that we want to accomplish, right? Like, we all aren't in the same career. We all don't have the same exact degree or certificates and things like that. And especially with gifts and talents. We know the parable of the talents that God gave each man different talents. And the one that actually put their talent to use and put their gifts to use, God gave them more. The one that buried their talent and did nothing and was like, I'm just going to keep this to myself. It's like their gift didn't get multiplied. So here's the thing. You've been given that gift because you're supposed to do that thing. You're supposed to write that book. You're supposed to write that play. You're supposed to go to school, get that certificate, start the business. Whatever it is that you desire, you've been given that because you're the person that's supposed to accomplish it while you are here on earth. But too often, like I said, we talk ourselves out of things that God is trying to encourage us to go towards. And the key to stay grounded in that thing, the key so that you don't get distracted or get derailed or get discouraged, is to move by faith. That's why it says we walk by faith and not by sight. Because the things you see in the natural, I'm telling you, like, I look back over these last few years, if I just focused on what was in the natural and what was constantly spoken about, especially several years back, we all walked through it, I would be in a different state of mind. I probably would be filled with fear. But thank God I understand, like, especially those of us that study the subconscious mind and understand that thoughts become things, and that our mind is like the greatest gift that we've been given. But too often we don't tap into that power, the power of our mind and our thoughts, and don't understand that literally everything out here is just a reflection of what's in here. And everything that you see that's in this physical realm was once in the mind of someone. My car that I'm sitting in, it was in the mind of someone. The coat, like every single thing that's in this material world, the handbags, the shoes, all the stuff that people, glorify and look up to, all those things were once in the mind of someone. before it manifested into this physical space, into this dimension. So it's so important to understand that your thoughts become things. As Earl Nightingale once said, we become what we think about. And Florence Scovel Shinn is said, which I love, it's like, if you do not run your subconscious mind, someone else will run it for you. So who's running your mind? Who's running your thoughts? Okay. I hope this encouraged you today. Go after that vision that the Lord has given you, that dream, that goal. You were given it because you're supposed to accomplish it. Keep going within. Keep speaking affirmations to that thing. Keep visualizing. Because as you continue to visualize and as you continue to use the gift of imagination, those things will create in your outer world. So I hope it encouraged you today. Always be an overcomer.